Hi, everybody. This is Scott again, and I just wanted to let you know this whole CHS syndrome thing. A couple of things you want to watch out for. First of all, if you're a young lady and you think you could be possibly pregnant, but you also smoke weed and you're getting morning sickness, it's most likely CHS syndrome if are indeed not pregnant. So you might want to watch that for a while. Another thing you want to watch out for is things that you might consume while you're suffering with this. For instance, caffeine, not good. Chocolate, not good. Really, not a whole lot that you can do. I I don't want to say it's like the best weight loss treatment, but for God's sakes, I think I've lost 10 pounds in the last, 5 days. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I want to lay out a little bit of how this happened to me. So, as I had mentioned in a previous video, I am 60 years old, and I started smoking weed at an AC/DC concert in Philadelphia at the age of 13. I was sitting in the concert. The joint came down the row. I said, "What is this?" They said, "Try it." I did. I was hooked. And don't let anybody tell you it's not addictive, because it most certainly is. Abso-freaking-lutely addictive. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. And anybody who tells you it's not, like I used to, is a fool. And I'll be the first one to admit that I'm a fool when it comes to this disease, because I had no clue about this. So, smoked since I was 13. Quit between 96 and 2002. Moved to Florida and started smoking again. And continued to smoke up until 2000. Let's see. It would have been 2021. No, actually, I'm sorry. This started happening earlier. It really started happening when I lived in the next county up. And I was working from home because I had a position at a company where I was able to work from home. And I was very sick in the mornings. Just like I mentioned, kind of like, morning sickness, I would assume. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But I would assume that it's like morning sickness. So, that being said, I worked for a couple of years, having this issue in the mornings. Couldn't figure out what it was. So I moved into my retirement home, and within a year, I was really getting sick bad. Really bad. It was like, I'm not going to say it was every day, because it wasn't. It was not every day. It was a couple of days a week, maybe. And it was putting a huge strain on my partner, and it was just a mess. So I had gone to the emergency room 18 times in a 16-month period. I was admitted 12. And thankfully, on my last excursion to the emergency room, forgive the darkness here for a minute, I gotta walk through the hallway. But the emergency room nurse, whose name was Tamara, and I love you, Tamara, she asked my partner 2 questions. She said, "Does he smoke medical marijuana?" And my partner said, "Yeah." And she said, "Does he get relief from a scalding hot shower or bath? And the answer was yes. She said, this is what he has. And being that, I was in disbelief of that, I said, I don't think that could be it. So I stopped smoking, and immediately started to feel better. It took probably 2 weeks for me to green out and become, become clean again, let's put it that way, after, my God, 45 years of smoking weed. So after the 2 weeks, I was good. Things were good. Life was good. Moved into a new house. And my partner and I decided that we were going to give it another shot and see if I could tolerate it and see what would happen. So we did. And it was okay for 6 months. Then it started getting back to where I was again. And I started getting sick. And I thought, man, I really love my weed. But you're not supposed to be smoking it. You're not supposed to be smoking it. And you know it, you dum-dum. You know you're not supposed to be smoking it. But you do anyway. So you're a fool. So, being the brilliant brain surgeon that I am, I decided to try cutting back on the THC because I knew that the high THC content was what was causing this whole problem. When this first started with me, when I first discovered what this was in 2022, I think it was, or 2021, I made a desperate plea to the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and I asked them to investigate this thing, and I asked them to post these things, this stuff on their website. And up until today, I still don't think they have done it because I haven't seen it, and I can't find anything about medical marijuana causing CHS syndrome or even causing any problems whatsoever. I mean, they don't want to admit to it. They just want to say, oh yeah, medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, it's all good. Go ahead and smoke and enjoy yourself and hope you don't die. I mean, when you're throwing up and you can't even take a sip of water, you get so dehydrated, and then all your muscles start to cramp, especially your abdominal muscles, because you're trying to throw up left and right, and there is nothing to throw up. Of course, if you take a sip of water, then there's a little sip of water to throw up, but yeah, what are you going to do? But no, it's no good. It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. So where was I? Okay, so we were in the emergency room, and she diagnosed this, and we left. And like I said, everything was good. 6 months. Started smoking again. But this time I was using the vape pens because I didn't want to smoke the actual flower. So I was getting vape pens that were half CBD and half THC. There were ratios, they were called. And I'm not going to say it helped at all because it really didn't. I think it was more psychological than anything because I wanted to keep smoking because it's an addictive thing. And as much as people say it's not addictive, it is. It is absolutely addictive. I mean, it's about as addictive as a meth head wanting teeth. You know what I mean? Because you can't imagine what you go through with this shit. So anyway, back to the video. I don't want to make it too long because then nobody will watch it. So I'm having muscle cramps today because of dehydration. I can finally get back to taking my medication. I can finally eat a little bit. I had some Taco Bell yesterday, which probably wasn't the best idea, but, you know, it was chicken and rice, so it's, you know, really wasn't that bad. My stomach is still tossing, still skewed to the left. I can't get any relief from it. It's just, I get in the shower. I don't have a bathtub in this home. My previous home, I had a huge bathtub. I could soak in the hot water and it would give me relief for maybe 2-3 hours. You know, the scalding hot shower does help, but it's not the same. You need to get for some reason, this disease, whatever this syndrome is and whatever it's doing to us, it reacts to body temperature somehow. So when you raise your body temperature with a scalding hot shower, it somehow triggers relief. I don't know whether they say it might be from capsaicin release, but I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I'm only speculating. But the shower doesn't really help. What you need is a bathtub. And I have a walk-in bathtub in my garage. Doesn't do me any good in there. So, as soon as I get well enough, I am bringing that bad boy in the house and I am installing it because I got to have a bathtub. I got to have a bathtub. And you need a bathtub with this CHS syndrome to actually alleviate the nausea that you get nonstop. You can get in a hot shower or a hot bath and you can get relief for a couple of hours. But that's not really the best way to go about doing this. You know what I mean? Listen, as God is my witness, I will never, ever pick up or touch medical marijuana again. Oh, that's what I wanted to touch on. I'm sorry. I wanted to touch on the fact that they're not telling you why this is happening. And I understand. It's big business. It's big business. You know? And nobody wants to lose money. You know, it's big business. They don't want to take a hit. Sorry. First known case of this was in Australia in 2004. And the hot shower is not a prescribed relief method. It's a learned method. So the people that were coming into the ER that were saying, oh, I get relief from a hot shower, I get relief from a hot shower, I get relief from a hot shower, they weren't like coordinating with the other people that had come in earlier with CHS and saying that I get relief from a hot shower. They were just coming in saying the same exact thing because it was learned behavior. Because once your body learns something that gives it relief, you subconsciously remember what that is and then you want to go back to it. Okay, so I was taking hot baths and getting like 2-3 hours worth of relief, and I would immediately go to sleep because I got relief and I was so exhausted from fighting this stupid thing. So, there you go. There you go. CHS, cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, is real. It is horrible. It is terrifying. It is bad. Bad. To the point where I thought I was going to die. I really did. I thought I was going to die. So I started reaching out to my childhood friends just to get one last word with them, to just tell them how much I appreciated everything. And thank God I survived it. I don't want to wish this on anyone. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish it on Joe Biden. I wouldn't. You know, I mean, it's just... It's a horrible, horrible thing to go through. It really is. It really is. So, there you have it. Being that it's Christmas Eve, probably won't be doing anything in terms of the CDC until the end of the week. But I am going to call them, and I'm going to make another case reference to this CHS, and I'm going to try and get them to post something on their website, so that at least people who want to smoke or who want to take that choice and want to make that choice have informed decisions that they can make, and they're not lied to by big business, big government, and big tech. I mean, we don't need this. We don't need this. Now, if I got sick after smoking for 45 years, and I was in the hospital 18 times and admitted 12, I was admitted a dozen times to the hospital. A dozen times. How much do you think how much of a strain do you think my one single case put on the healthcare system in my neighborhood? How much do you think my one case put strain on the healthcare system in my neighborhood? Again, emergency roomed 18 times. Hospitalized 12 before they could figure out what was going on. That's something to think about. All right, do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe for me, please. I'm gonna keep going with this. I'm not letting it go. I've had enough. I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. I am really angry this time. And even though I did it to myself, I'm still angry. I'm still very angry at our support system in this country that thinks that something like this should be legalized and recreationalized. I mean, they say 1 in 3 people will get it. I hope you're not the 1 in 3, like I was. You know, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Not worth it. So, until the next video, you never know what I'm going to find out. You know? And maybe we'll start a channel and we'll start doing some fun stuff. Who knows? You know? But I think I am going to go over to X. I think Musk's platform is a little better. I really do. A little more honest, a little more straightforward, less censorship. But this is my first couple of videos. Let's see where they go. Thank you, guys. Take care.